Looking at all of you incredibly beautiful faces, powerful faces. I'm just happy to be here. And I know our dream team, our powerhouse group of UTA agents over here is also very grateful to be here. But I hope you all take the time to really look at each other, spend time with each other, and realize that you are all on a very special journey together. We are in this together at a time in the industry where, it's challenging. There's some very challenging times currently taking place and ahead of us. So let's just remember how together we are in this journey. My name is Lindsay Wagner. I am Chief Diversity Officer at UTA. I identify as a biracial Black woman, an activist, an organizer, most importantly, a mother. My daughter is the center of my universe and a person who believes that every community I touch, I must find a way to make it better. Otherwise, why am I in it? And again, just happy to be able to kick off our panel of what I wish I knew then. Quick introductions to these incredible folks to my left. So first to my left here is Ugo Obioha. She's an agent in our motion picture lit department. She joined that department in 2022 as an agent. Born and semi-raised in Nigeria, Ugo has spent a majority of her professional career as an attorney, trying a variety of legal matters, including consumer protection rights, breaches of contract, and divorces for many high-profile clients. Despite legal advocacy being her first vocation, Ugo's passion for entertainment, media, and arts drove her to empower and assist friends and colleagues in pursuing their creative endeavors along the way. Since joining UTA, she continues her advocacy in representing talented writers, directors, and producers for feature films. Welcome, Ugo. Next, we have Allison Chung. She is an agent in our television literary department at UTA, where she represents television writers and directors, showrunners, and writer-producers. Allison joined UTA in 2018, first working as a client social impact executive in the UTA Foundation and transitioned to an agent in 2021. She got her start in the entertainment business in the mailroom at an agency, at a different three-letter agency, shall we say, then worked extensively in the entertainment buying space, conducting talent research and marketing consultancy for brands like Procter & Gamble, Microsoft, and Citigroup. Allison graduated from Wesleyan University, where she majored in American Studies with a concentration in media and popular culture. Welcome, Allison. Last, and certainly not least, Isaiah Telewoda is an agent in our Culture and Commerce division. Isaiah is a proud graduate of Boston College, where he majored in biology. Prior to his career in entertainment, Isaiah worked in the healthcare industry as an obstetrics and gynecology office administrator before making his way to UTA. Isaiah began his entertainment career in the mailroom of UTA's New York office before being promoted to agent in the Culture and Commerce department, where he works with thought leaders like the one and only Malala, Alexis Ohanian, and Michaela Cole, as well as many more. Welcome, Isaiah. Okay, Powerhouse. The first question I have, one, I want you to share a little bit more, 1 to 2 aspects of your identity that are important to you, the same way that I did. And tell us a bit about your current role and how you got your start. I'll start with you.
An aspect of my identity that is most important to me is my cultural background and heritage. Born in Nigeria, I think for those who know Nigerians or who don't know, we're very bold, we're very outspoken, yet we're very sensitive. And I think being Nigerian informs a lot of just who I am, informs a lot of my personal decisions, informs a lot of my professional interactions. I am deeply passionate about my clients. I am deeply passionate about my advocacy. And it informs how I interact with a lot of my colleagues. So that is an identity that is very important to me. Should I answer the second?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, through my bio, I joined this industry through a very unconventional path. It was not the traditional trajectory as one starts in the mailroom and you build your way up. But LinkedIn is a very important resource. And it's funny because we were talking about that earlier, but I like to say I agented myself, right? I knew that I was disenchanted by law. It felt like my parents' agenda and less of mine. I always felt like a creative, but I didn't come from a family that would have supported that vocation. But I think, 6 years later, I woke up in 2022 and said, I want to pursue the arts, and I have this background in what is the best way to pivot and what is the most natural way to pivot. I cold called someone on LinkedIn. I messaged someone in HR, introduced myself, spoke about the uniqueness of my background, but feeling like I had skills I could translate into the space. And, as many of you have probably cold called or cold messaged people, you're pitching yourself and you're telling this person why your pitch is, why they need your pitch, and convincing them to buy into it. And that's exactly what I did when I reached out to HR at UTA, pitched myself, and I said, this is why you should hire me. And the rest is history. Became an agent. I, didn't have the advantages of being an assistant and learning the language of this industry, but I knew my language. But yeah, that's.
Oh, we're gonna go deeper. Thank you.
Yeah,
That was a good intro.
That's
Thank
my
you.
intro.
Allison.
Hi. So I think like one or two self-identifiers that I think resonate with some of what Ugo said is heritage for sure. I definitely identify as a first-generation Jamaican American from New York.
Yeah, there's in the room. I can
New York or nowhere. And you're so
okay.
So I think, and look, I think this is gonna be a theme that we'll probably dig into a bit more too, but obviously culturally, the diaspora, I think when we walk into a room, people just see us all as one, and that's definitely not the case.
Hey everybody. So as far as identity, I identify as a first-generation American. My parents come from West Africa, Liberia specifically. Are there any West Africans in here? Oh, not enough.
Raise your hand proudly.
And that identity really means a lot to me because coming from West Africa, if anyone's familiar with Liberia, Liberia was embroiled in a civil war from the year 1990 to 2005. I was born in 1991, and that has informed a lot of how my family operates, specifically here in America. So when I got to UTA and taking that identity with me, I was very lucky enough that UTA has a program called Live Inspire. And to be honest, I don't know if any other company is silly enough to have a program like this, but with Live Inspire, you can write an essay about anything in the world you want to do. If the company chooses, they'll pay for you to do it. And I wrote about wanting to go back to Liberia, where my family's from, to volunteer at my aunt's charity, which is the only charity in West Africa for developmentally challenged children. And for me, when I got to Liberia, just for context, my aunt has Down syndrome. When I got to Africa, when I got to Liberia, and I got to see my childhood home, where my parents, where my parents had my siblings, where my parents were raised, really to see the kind of situations that they came up in, it really put a lot of things in perspective because, I'm sure we've all had like a bad day. I've had 6 of them this week. And at the worst of times, I could be dealing with the world's most annoying client or the most annoying buyer, and they could be telling me that the deal's falling apart. And I just look back in these pictures like, I could have been living like this. And my parents fought so hard to get us here. My parents made it to America so I can make it in America. And to me, that's something that I carry with me on a day-to-day, and then all the other problems just kind of go out the window. And that has really kind of led me into the work that I do now, which is in the Culture and Commerce Department. I really focus on working with thought leaders, activists, politicians, really anyone with a really good story who's a multi-hyphenate at the apex of one or two of the verticals, and build businesses around them. There's a lot of people that are making very strong impacts, like many people in this room, who are overlooked by the entertainment industry.